All right, guys, we're back with a few news. Well, first of all, we just it kind of let's just talk about the let's talk about it really quickly. Apparently, the international trailer for Ghostbusters happened today or something. I don't know. We apparently Chris Hemsworth is more in it, so you can just see how crappy he is in the movie compared to everybody else. But the big thing right now, which is kind of popping up, is they're making another critically acclaimed movie in the critically acclaimed series of Sharknado. Guys, this is the best news we've seen ever, and I hope to God that everybody go sees this movie, even though I haven't seen a single one of them. Because I've seen like bits and pieces of some of them, and I cannot watch them.
When I heard that they were making a Sharknado 4, I didn't even know they had a Sharknado 3. I know. I just remember it was like what maybe a year or two ago. Everyone was making fun of a Sharknado 2. I was like,
one. They were making fun of.
Well, they were making fun of one, and they're like, oh my gosh, they're making
Two
a
is coming
second
out. Yeah.
one. And I was like, ah ha ha, funny. I didn't even know they're all the way up to 4 now.
Apparently, they're making fourth one.
I don't know how much stories can you make out of a
how
tornado
much?
full of sharks? Like,
I thought you would say. I was like, I thought you were about to swear. For a second. I was like, Shane, this is the radio station.
It's
But
a sharks flying around a tornado, which obviously everyone knows that's not even
well,
possible.
first of all, when the first
Then they made 4 movies out of it.
well, first of all, when they first come out with it, it was supposed to be good. The actual movie was supposed to be good. Everybody made fun of it. So that's like a movie that's like so good it's bad. Okay, we get to that quality, and then we get to a quality number 2 where it's literally making fun of itself, and then we get to 3, which apparently I don't think you've heard it. You haven't heard of it. You said you haven't heard of it, but it's like this is a point where we're not in the joke anymore. We're like outside the joke. We're looking. It's funny. It's like watching a bad joke not hit.
Yeah.
It's just sad at
It's
that
like
point.
now, if you're making a 4th one, it's just like, all right, the joke is over.
Your movie's terrible. We know it sucks.
It's like now you're trying to like latch on to like this like train of like
Awfulness.
all these movies, and like you pretty much are jumping on the bandwagon of these movies, hoping that you can just get money for these movies, because none of them ever make it to theaters, right?
No, oh no, hell no. Oh,
So, what is your point of making a 4th one?
profit, because you can make literally probably like this movie probably costs a dime and a buck. Probably they give like Cedar Point tickets to the actors. They're probably like, hey, dude, you can come on you can be in the movie. It's gonna be awesome. You're gonna make fun of yourselves. We're gonna make fun of you. We're all gonna do this, right? I'll just give you some Cedar Point tickets. The publicity alone. They're probably so ego that they probably just give them like a pat in the back, like you were in my movie. So
You're in my movie. Congrats.
okay, congratulations, because you have to have an ego at this point of making this movie when it's got to the point where you're not the joke. You're the joke now. You're like the joke. You're like epic movie at this point. You're like making fun of. But the sadder part about Sharknado 4 is that you're making fun of yourself. So we're making fun of you making fun of yourself. It's pretty much what it is.
Is like they made the first one that's supposed to be an all-serious movie about sharks flying around a tornado.
They thought it was serious.
They thought it was serious. Everyone was like, "This movie's so funny. It's so bad. It's funny, right?" Okay, good joke. Make a second one.
Like, yeah.
Okay, you're trying to like now make a joke
out of it. Yeah, it was good. It was a good. I heard the second one is actually pretty. It's an actual pretty good movie because it knows it's stupid.
Yeah.
Then the third one
and 4th one, you are just. It's sad. Like it's just.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when we make fun of like an epic movie, like or like a scary movie, like the actual not an actual scary movie, but like the serious scary movie, or a haunted house. You get to the point where like you can't be worse than you can't be the worst than the thing you're making fun of.
It's like when someone's talking and they're like keep digging themselves a hole, and you're just stop.
No, it's not even digging themselves a hole. It's like one of those ones. Have you ever seen those people that like? They like make when they latch onto a joke, they make that joke like over and over again. Where it gets to your point. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like
okay.
And
then they tell the same joke every single time you see them. That one person.
They just change it up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do we know?
That's what these.
I don't even know. You have to tell me later, but I don't even know.
That's what these movies are. It's like that one person that keeps telling you the same joke over and over again, and then you're finally just like, dude. I've heard this a million times.
But it's not even it's actually I would actually respect that more than what they're doing, because what they're doing is they're making a joke about themselves. It's like the guy. Have you ever seen Charlie Chaplin? You probably haven't seen any Charlie Chaplin's like a slapstick kind of humor where they make fun of themselves. Whereas that movie's like it works because it works in the way that his character is funny, not him. He's not a goof. His character's a goof. But this movie's like making a stupid joke about yourself, about me. It'd be like me making a stupid joke about me and telling it to Shane. And Shane gets to the point where, like, dude, it's depressing now. Like, we don't care about...
Like, I just feel bad for you.
I feel bad for you because you keep making fun of yourself, and it's not funny anymore. This is what the movie's gotten to. This is what they've gotten to. And they put that actress from... They'll probably again put that actress from American Pie in it. Which is just god-awful. She's an awful actress. The reason why one of the reasons why the first movie was so great is because the dialogue was just atrocious, and she couldn't read her lines for anything. Let's just say that. It's too much.
Yeah,
Let's just stop. Just stop already. We don't need this.
No.
Nobody needs this. Not even fans of the series need this. This movie's gonna be bad. Unless this surprises me and it turns out to be like a funny movie.
No way.
It's depressing now. It's getting to the point. It's a Human Centipede 3. There's a Human Centipede 3 where at the point the jokes aren't funny anymore.
It's like the disgust is not there anymore.
The disgust is not there anymore. It's like the Saw series where, like, dude, you're getting too far. It's a joke that ran stale a long time ago.
Well, anyway, in other news, there's Marvel said that
Captain America is going to be their longest movie, which is interesting.
Weren't both the Avengers movies over 2 hours?
2 hours, yeah.
So they're trying to say, they're going over by like what, 2 minutes, half an
hour?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
How are you saying that's going to be the longest?
When you to me, it's. I might be wrong, but when you say it's going to be my longest movie ever, you would think it'd be at least 20 minutes longer, right?
You would assume so.
Which I don't think we'll get tired of it. I think at one of the points, it's just going to kind of drag along a little bit, unless they're throwing a lot of content in this movie, which I would be glad. I like longer movies.
There's a lot of superheroes in this movie, so maybe that's why they're trying to bring all these storylines together.
Show a little tiny bit of like the backstory.
Get them all to connect.
Black Panther.
How all of them are connecting in this movie and how they pick sides. And then the actual war happens.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that because I don't mind longer movies. A lot of people can't sit through longer movies. It's not a bad thing. It
does not feel like a 3-hour movie.
Yes, yeah.
If I'm literally sitting there bored out of my mind for 3 hours, that's when the movie's bad.
And there is some movies where it gets to the point where it repeats the same thing over again. I still love the movie, but Gone Girl did that kind of the same thing where I love Gone Girl. I think it's the best movie of 2014. I think it's one of the best movies in a very long time. But it did do this like similar things over and over again. So did Lincoln. Lincoln was you thought it was boring in the thing. It was kind of boring, I can admit. But Lincoln did the same thing where it was just doing this thing over and over and over again where it's like we get it. Let's just fast forward this part. We don't need to see this.
Yeah,
I hope
they don't do that in this movie. I think it'll be a good movie. And I think it's gonna be a decent movie no matter what.
No matter what, it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be like those movies that you like. You'll when you watch it again, you'll fast forward it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what happened to The Dark Knight a little bit, which I still love The Dark Knight, but there's certain parts where you're like, I just want to fast forward it. I mean, you can still watch The Dark Knight over and over and over again and still love it, but that's a 3-hour movie. Yeah. Still, I hope it's The Dark Knight though. I hope it's not like because The Dark Knight obviously all movies have a slow period. Dark Knight just had the random slow period in one of the parts, but they did it well where they spread it over. They had enough content where they could give 4 villains a backstory. Let's just say not backstory. 4 people a backstory. They could get Joker doesn't have a backstory, but they gave him like enough character development in the movie to like spread throughout the movie. He wasn't always just crazy. It was just like first it was tricking everybody. It was what his actual motivations were. You knew that weren't in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. And so every character had this kind of like stepping stone where Harvey Dent was a good, turned bad. Scarecrow was in the movie for a little bit, but not that much.
They show those character developments with all these superheroes, because most of the superheroes in this movie we know about already. They had their own movies. The one that is majorly getting introduced in this movie is Black Panther.
You forgot one. They never showed it in the trailer yet.
Well,
I'll give you a hint. Sony.
Wolverine?
No, that's Fox. Spider-Man.
Is he in this?
He's in this movie.
I thought his first introduction.
He's in this movie.
Avenger. Okay.
He's not. They're not showing him in the trailer. They're not showing a glimpse of him because they don't want to. But I like the. Well, the thing is that
Spider-Man's had movies before.
Yeah, you know what Spider-Man is.
Spider-Man is. The main one in this one.
You're talking about the main one that you had no idea.
No movie on him ever before is the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Some people might not even know who he is.
Yeah, because he's not that famous.
He's not that huge in comics and stuff. People don't like. He's not one of the main superheroes you know.
Because here's a question I have for you, because I know, I hope this is what they do. I hope what they should do and what they shouldn't do. What they should do is should show a tiny character development throughout the movie, show a little backstory to the characters that we don't know or we haven't seen yet in a Marvel universe at least, and give it like. But the thing is that the bad thing about that is that they go too far into that. They start showing the origin story. I don't want to show an origin story in this movie because the origin story would just bog down the movie. We can see it in the actual movie when it comes out. We don't need it in.
The only way I could see them making an origin in this movie is they don't plan on making an origin movie for that character.
A certain character, yes. But there's only the two of them they've already announced movies for, so we don't need to. Like the only two characters we haven't seen in a movie is Black Panther and Spider-Man. I hope that they dive into like the kind of like the racism part of the actual like, because it's kind of like Zootopia where one side is this, one side is that. They're banning the other side. You can't do this. They're kind of like almost like a not concentration camp, but kind of like that kind of like mythology that the other side is bad and we're good, kind of like that. It's a very small.
They're both set in their ways.
Yeah, there's very small side of it, but I hope they dive into those parts and I can understand because the comics is not just one thing. And if they're planning on only doing one movie, I can understand why they're making it 3 hour and 3.5 hours long.
That would make sense.
Because I think that Captain America's going to die in this movie. That is my 90.
According to the comics, he is supposed to die. And Bucky's supposed to take over. And based on the trailers, he's trying to save Bucky from like these people, which is S.H.I.E.L.D., trying to get him. My prediction is
Iron Man. I think Iron Man's actually going to kill him on accident. Iron Man might actually kill him.
I just know he's going to die. I think he's trying to save Bucky.
Yeah.
And then that's why Bucky takes over.
I think it would be kind of cool if Iron Man actually killed him, because you see in Avengers 2 when you saw him dying. Remember that like vision he had, where they're all dying.
Iron Man was supposed to kill all of them or let them
die, and they could do kind of a cool thing where because he's the only one that talked to him. Not Chris. Captain America was the only one that actually spoke to Iron Man, and he said you let this happen, right? Maybe he actually accidentally kills Spider-Man. I mean, not Spider-Man. Captain America in accident. And I hope that I don't know if they're going to do it, but in the movie, I mean, in the comic books, Ragnarok is a clone of Thor, right? And he goes down and actually starts participating. He actually participates in Civil War, and I hope if they actually do it that way, that would make sense why it's that long.
Introduce him?
Yeah, because they introduce him. He leaves. He goes flying somewhere else to go fight.
That's how they introduced Thor. The Thor movie.
Yes.
That's
and I hope because you don't know how many because they announced about a week ago. About a week ago that there's going to be 64 people in Infinity Wars. Do you know that?
Wow.
64 characters. So
64
characters. Yeah, separate characters. And so I don't know how they're going to do it. I think they're going to put Inhumans. Have you heard about that? It's kind of complicated. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of like a mutant. They're kind of like mutants, but they can't use the word mutants, obviously.
Yeah.
But they're going to throw them in there. It's going to be a Marvel movie. They could do a kind of few other stuff with it, which would be kind of cool. But I think if they dive into this, I just hope the characters don't overshadow the story.
Yeah. That's true.
And the way that the trailers have been looking, that it doesn't look like that way. It looks like it's just them two fighting, right? It's them two fighting, and these characters are just helping each side. Yeah. And I believe that. I hope they do that.
The trailer makes it seem like it's Iron Man versus Captain America, and then they just have like
they pick sides. Yeah, supporters. Yeah, which Captain America is going to lose because they have the Vision. I mean, they have the Vision. They have Black Panther. Those two alone will destroy anybody on thing. But
he has Ant-Man and I think the Hulk. So
that's true. But I think
it's going to be good.
It's going to be good no matter what. I think so. I just hope it doesn't get bogged down by boring parts. All right, we'll come back with what is it?
We're gonna come back just talking about our predictions of the Brothers Grimsby and
our bad challenges this week because we don't have good challenges.
We're going to talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh, 10 Cloverfield. I forgot about 10 Cloverfield Lane. 10 Cloverfield Lane is the sequel to Cloverfield, or spin-off, whatever they want to call it. But then we'll come back with our bad challenges, not our good challenges, because we failed on both watching today. So our punishment is that we have to pick a movie that's terrible for the other side, that we will cringe when we watch it. We have to watch the whole thing because we have to describe everything in the movie because we've both seen these movies. Sadly, we've sadly both seen these movies and they're so bad they're not even good. They're just so bad they're bad.
Yeah.
So we'll come back with that. We'll see you then.